Hello everyone, welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Happy Halloween. My name's Iron Man. I have a 3-year-old son. Need I say any more? Joining me tonight is Alistair Pearson. Ali, how are you? I've done my bit now, by the way, so I can take this mask off.
I was about to say, is this the masked podcast that we're bringing out now? To the
Mate, he's three now, mate. He's three now, and he remembers everything. So he's like, Daddy, wear that Iron Man mask on your podcast now. I'm like, okay, mate, okay. So he'll want to see that as soon as he gets out of bed in the morning. So, yes, there you go.
No, I know. I know. My niece FaceTimed me tonight. She was dressed up as Cruella de Vil, and she's obsessed. She's obsessed with Cooper, so she needs to see Cooper on FaceTime all the time. So she was going about with some wee Dalmatian dog. Yes, obviously I don't have kids, so I don't have to do the Halloween trick or treat stuff. I know you live in an estate, carrying a house, so I'm sure you were battered by kids tonight in terms of
yes.
I'm all right because I live in a top floor flat and I can not answer the door. But yes.
And ha, Mr. Kieran. I knew somebody would have to say that. It looks better with a mask on. To be honest, most people would agree. But yeah, sorry, Ali.
Yeah, Halloween. Thankfully, there was no horror show for Rangers on Wednesday night, Carney. So, I was going to say I'm looking forward to talking about Rangers, but I'm struck down with the man flu. I think Scotia's got it as well, but I've actually...
It started with me as well.
So it started with you. It's taken Scotia out the game, but I've declared myself fit for tonight, so I'll be here for the full hour.
I appreciate that, mate. I appreciate that. Hello, chat. Good to see you all. Please do get involved. Obviously, live on YouTube and on X tonight. Get yourself subscribed to the channel. Get yourself involved in a live chat as we bring you an old firm Spooktacular. Obviously, with it being on Halloween tonight, and obviously all eyes are on Sunday, where we take on Celtic in the semi-final of the Cup at Hampden. Before I go any further, just a word from our sponsors. This episode is proudly sponsored by Lux Lift Events, where they elevate your occasion. Whether it's a wedding, birthday, baby shower, or seasonal celebration like Halloween, and you've just missed out on all their Halloween stuff, or Christmas, and all the Christmas slots are filling up rather quickly, so get involved. There's Grinch stuff, there's Polar Express stuff, there's all sorts of stuff, so make sure you check it out. But Lux Lift Events brings the magics from stunning artificial flower arrangements, luxury balloon displays, to candy stands, selfie stations, and even soft play setups for the little ones. They've got everything to transform your event into something unforgettable. If you want your next celebration to be stylish, fun, and picture perfect, let Lux Lift Events do the lifting. The link to their Instagram is in the description for this podcast. Also, you can find them on Facebook, where they've got loads of stuff for you to look at. But Lux Lift Events, it's time to elevate your occasion. Thank you very much for their continued support of this podcast. So yes, Ali, jump straight into things. It was obviously yourself and I that brought the reaction to the game on Wednesday evening, so we're not going to deep dive too far into it. We've had a few days to reflect on it now, mate, and I suppose the overriding consensus, I think, from a lot of people is digging out a 1-0 win was probably more beneficial for this group of players than scudding Hibs 5-0. And by that, I mean these players had to get into their heads that they can dig out a result, because that's what they done on Wednesday.
Yeah, no, as I say, Wednesday night was a massive result for Rangers in terms of where we are. Those group of players going to Easter Road, they're unbeaten, Hibs at Easter Road this season, I'm sure. And for Rangers to go there...
16 games since they've...
Is it? Yeah. So for Rangers... and Hibs have been going well, to be fair to them. They have been going well. Hibs, I know Hearts are taking the kind of headlines in terms of where they are, but Hibs have been going well too. So it was always going to be a tough one. I think under the previous manager or head coach, you want to say Russell Martin, I think we would have faltered there. He's changed the formation, which I think suits us at the moment. We look more solid at the back. In terms of, I thought at Kilmarnock we looked good. I know we shipped a comedy goal, but apart from that, I thought we looked solid against Kilmarnock. Took it into Hibs again, and it's baby steps, but it was a massive result. Showed they had a bit of character, a bit of fight about them. I know we talked about Conor Barron, who I know we talked about him playing against Celtic on Sunday, which we never even knew he suspended, which we'll get into. But I thought a lot of guys dug deep, and showed a bit of bottle. And ultimately, going to places like Easter Road, I said that if you want to be serious in a title race or you want to win title races, and I know we are miles off at the moment, but you need to go to places like these and grind results out at time, Carney. And they did that, Rangers. They just need to build from it, though. They need to. That's 2 wins in the top, but they need to go on a run now in the league in particular. And as I said, the next 3 games coming up, and I laughed about it when I said it on the post-match. They're favourable. I know we said that at the beginning of the season in terms of games we had, and look what happened. But they're games we should be winning. So it's a start for Danny Rowe. But there's a togetherness about that team. I could see it when they went over at the fans at full time. I know the fans were singing about Danny Rowe, and he pointed to the players to be honest. Give the players some applause tonight in terms of what they dug out. So yeah, I think they've got a togetherness about them, and I think they'll be confident going into Sunday now, Carney, in terms of they can get a result.
Yeah, Justin Muir made the point as well there, mate, that it's the most togetherness he's seen, and for Danny Rowe to get it out of them in such a short space speaks volumes for me, and I do agree with that. And I don't like harping on about the past. I don't like harping on about the kind of failed tenure of Russell Martin, but it isn't an over-exaggeration to say, mate, that over the past couple of games, we have seen more in terms of style, commitment, desire, work rate, application, togetherness, all these things. And yes, it's a starting block, of course it is, but we've seen more of that than we ever seen under Russell Martin. And that one speaks volumes for just how bad Russell Martin was doing, in my opinion. But it also shows that I think that Danny Rowe's come in, he's understand the task in hand. I think the defeat against Brann in Europe opened his eyes fully to the full problem, the full scale of the job in hand. And even when he goes over and speaks to the fans after that game, I would like to imagine that he's went over and said, look, I now know what the problems are and I'm going to fix them, and I'm going to give it my best go at fixing them. And he's done that. The fact is, mate, we haven't kept a clean sheet since 1912. I can't remember the last time it was. But in 2 games, mate, he's went, right, we're just going to be difficult to beat. We'll be compact, we'll be hard, we'll close down space, we'll make it uncomfortable for the other team, and we'll play our game the way that we want to play it. And right now we've got to play within ourselves to an extent, yes, because this team, when he came into it, he came into a bin fire. Let's not be honest, let's not be coy about anything. He came into, the place was on fire, and he's come in, he's got a group of players that are literally on the floor, confidence-wise. They've had their head filled with Russell Martin's philosophy and or ideology and inverted commas, and he's going to have to build them up bit by bit. But just the way that we did dig in and dug it out, and actually, when you watch the game back, I wouldn't say we were lucky. I thought Rangers were hard. It was a hard-fought win. And you're going to need to do that throughout a season. There's absolutely no doubt. But for him to get it out, that team, in the space of, a week, how many training sessions did he have? Maybe 2 or 3. I think it bodes well. I think it bodes well for him. And I don't want to get too carried away. We've been in this position before where we get carried away with a new manager bounce and we see different things. And then these players resort to default. But am I being over the top, Ali, when I'm saying this just feels a little bit different? It doesn't feel like a bounce as such because of the way that we fought that game out. We didn't concede any goals for the first time in God knows how long. For me, and even genuinely when they stepped up at the penalty, I thought Jack Butland's going to save this, because I just felt like something was different, and I genuinely did believe he was going to save it. Am I wrong in thinking that? Am I clutching at straws? Is it pie in the sky stuff? Or is there genuinely a different whiff about this?
No, I don't think so. In terms of Jack Butland saving that penalty, I'd love your optimism in terms of I'm not,
mate. You know I'm not. You know,
know.
if you were sitting watching that next stage, in any other circuit, if I was under Russell Martin at the start of the season and we were sitting in a boozer sharing a beer watching that, mate, I'd have said, well, that's that up this one then, isn't it? That's that absolutely done. But honestly, mate, I just went, he's saving that. And I don't know where it came from. I just went, he's saving this. And he did. I still celebrated like we just scored, mate. But I mean, I just had confidence that he was going to save it.
I hope you bring that positivity into Sunday at Hampden, Carl.
Oh yes,
Like
for positive. The club at 22, the positive podcast is back in action, mate.
Yeah, but no, it does. I mean, we're 3 games into the Danny Rule. The European game, I take that away because he was in the door 2 minutes. But in the league, you can see he stripped it back and went back to basics. He said that when he came in, Danny Rule, he wasn't going to complicate it. He was going to go back to basics. He was going to work. There's a decent core of players I think we've got there. I still think we'd a hell of a lot more, to be honest. Some of the recruitment's not been great, but there's stuff to work with there. And you can see he's identified guys that he can get a tune out of. Yeah. And he's trying to make us hard to beat, which is what we need to do first and build from there. My only criticism is we don't look like scoring. The top line for me is still powder puff, but I'd rather he got us not leaking goals first, and we can build from that. It's a foundation to build from. So he's done that.
Even that, mate, when we spoke about it with Roll coming in, we both said the same thing. We both said he needs to start at the back.
Oh, he's got it. I mean, I remember years ago when Walter came in, when we had Paul Le Guen, and the first thing Walter Smith did was he identified the back line, and he brought in, I know it's way back then, he brought Davy Weir in and Ugo Egiog, and he made us hard, Christian Daly, players like that, made us hard to beat. So he's identified that, Danny Rule. And as I say, when he went to Sheffield Wednesday, and I've got a couple of guys, as I've said, down at my work that are big Sheffield Wednesday fans, but when he went into Sheffield Wednesday, he did the same with them. They were away down the bottom of the Championship fighting for their lives, and he went in and identified, how can I win games with these group of players? And he kind of went back to basics with them, and ultimately it worked for him. And then the next year he could implement his kind of style of football. And I think he's doing that with that Rangers team. And he said when he came in, he has to just win games of bloody football. From then we can build in terms of style, etc. He's not got time on the training ground, Carney, to really implement a style of football with these players, because we're playing every 3-4 games at the moment. Maybe the international break coming up in the middle of November, whenever it is, he'll have time in the training ground to maybe drill into some of these players what he wants to do, but just get us winning games of football. That's all I want. And I not an argument, but I had a discussion with Paul Moore. He's a Celtic season ticket holder, and we were on about, he was like, would you not prefer your football team playing good football? And I went, no, I just want us to win games of football. I would take horrific 1-0 end the season if it means we win things. I really don't care.
I'll age it. I will age it 20 years.
I probably wouldn't make it to the end of the season, but ultimately you want to win trophies. That's what it's about. If you can play great football along with it as well, brilliant. But ultimately, you just want to win trophies. And at the present point where we are now, Carrie, we just need to win games of football. That's it. And if we can put a performance in, great. But just win games of football. I mean, we play Celtic on Sunday, Carrie. If it's a horrific game and we nick it 1-0, I will not give a monkeys, because we just need to win games of football. So that's what he said when he came in, Danny Rule. And so far, so good. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, look, mate, I agree. I think we've been so starved of seeing our team win games of football. It has seemed like an eternity since we've had at least back-to-back wins anyway, domestically in the league. And we've been so starved for it. Yeah, that I'm at the point where we just have to be difficult to beat and win games of football. That's kind of where we need to be at before anything really happens. I think he's going about it the right way. He's not just coming in and flooding them with even more information. By the looks of it, again, from the outside looking in, he's not flooding them with more information than they need. I would imagine he said everything that you've been taught off the previous manager, please forget it and let's start again from fresh. This is what we do. We have an element of, probably not enough, because we've even Kavanagh said it himself, probably don't have enough experience throughout the squad, but there's guys there that have been there and done it. Do you know what I mean? So they're guys with experience that should be able to apply themselves in the correct way in a game of football against a team that you probably should be beating, and it should be enough to lead us to a victory. And the fact that he's tinkered with the formation, it's not looked like we're out of place or uncomfortable with it. If anything, I think we look more comfortable with that than we have with anything else all season. It seems to suit the players that we have available within that squad. I think it speaks volumes for him as well to come in and immediately identify, right, we can do 3 at the back here. And I think one of the biggest reasons for going 3 at the back will be the lack of options that he has at left back. So left wing back can be occupied by Max Aarons, Tavernier could probably even do it. Not that I want to see that, but Magoma, even Gassama if he had to. I'm sure Mikey Moore could do a stint there if he had to. I just think there's more options for him there because it's less on defensive duties and more on attacking. Obviously, there's still an element of tracking back when you're playing with 3 at the back and for your wing backs, but it's not as focused as what a standard left back would be. So yeah, look, as I say, I think just the way that we won the game, I think should hopefully continue this momentum that we seem to be building after. And it has only been 2 games, but it is momentum nonetheless, the fact that we have won 2 games. Just on Danny Rule, there's been a lot of rumours, Ali, about him. He's made it quite clear that he does want an ex-player to be brought onto his coaching staff. I also seen someone make a comment in there about a new academy coach. I've been working today and then I was out trick-or-treating. I've generally had no chance to catch up on anything at all, so I don't know have you heard who the new academy coach? Somebody said another old Thelwell pal. If it is, it wouldn't shock me, but I've not seen who that is.
I've not seen anything, to be honest. I've not.
Sorry, I've just not had a chance today. It has been one of those days. I do apologise. So we probably won't touch on that. Maybe touch on it next week. But yeah, back to Danny Rule saying that he wants to bring an ex-player in. Players linked in the strongest possible terms. Neil McCann, Steve Davis, Lee Wallace. Is there anybody really that would be a personal preference for you? Is there anyone that you would think, yeah, that's the guy that I would get in? Is it any of them 3 linked, or is there somebody out with that you would prefer to see brought
in? I wouldn't say I have a guy I desperately want in beside him, to be honest. All the 3 guys you talk about, I think I've got good traits. I think Neil McCann, I like Neil McCann. I like when Neil McCann talks. Obviously, he was there last season with Barry Ferguson, McGregor and Billy Dodds as well. So, and he's been a manager before, Neil McCann. It was Dundee, he was a manager. So, yeah, Neil McCann would one for me. Steve Davis, obviously. The way his Rangers career ended wasn't great in terms of that big injury he got. David Bradford, assistant manager. They couldn't get a suit to fit Davy, could they?
Nah, they would need to put 3 or 5 suits together, 3 to 5 suits together from Slaters just to cover Davy's back. And Davy's no fat, by the way. That's what I'm saying. Davy's not fat.
No, he's a very, very big man.
He's a very big man. Yes.
Yeah. And Lee Wallace as well. He's obviously done his coaching badges and stuff. There's not one of them that I'd say I definitely want that guy, Carney. And you've got other guys out there, Kevin Thompson as well, another one that we all talk about as well, who's obviously been at Rangers before and he obviously left not that long ago. But I wouldn't say I've got a number one preferred candidate, but any one of those guys that you've mentioned there, I'd be happy to have them on board. And it gives a link from Danny Rule to the fans, etc. And I think he gets Rangers. I think he understands it. You can kind of see he gets it. He's been at Bayern Munich as well. He's been at big clubs. He does understand it. But yeah, one of the guys coming in, and I think he said they probably wouldn't be in till international or something. They said probably. Potentially they would be in. So it'll be interesting to see. But any one of them, I'll be quite happy with, to be honest.
Yeah, Sharpie Staunch, are we going to Hampden on Sunday? Yes, we are. We will be going to Hampden on Sunday for sure. All four of us are going. Yeah, all 4 of us are going on Sunday. Yes, we will be there. Yeah, look, I again, Neil McCann's a guy I like. Steve Davis is an absolute legend of this football club. and Lee Wallace. If I had to pick out the names that had been linked, I would pick between Davis and Wallace. I know there was reported on Heart and Hand. I think that there's been no contact apparently made with Steve Davis. Again, you've got to take everything at face value.
And he's with Northern Ireland at the moment, isn't he? For Michael O'Neill. So
you've got to take everything at face value in that regard. Danny Rule has says he's compiled a short list of ex-players that he would like to speak to. So we'll see what happens in that. To be honest, mate, I think as much as I'd be happy with Neil McCann, I'd be happy with Steve Davis, and I'd be happy with Lee Wallace. But if I had to narrow it down, I would probably go to Davis and Wallace. And the reason for that, mate, is Davis is, born and bred one of us, mate. He knows exactly what it means to be us. He literally lived the dream that we all wish we could have done. And Lee Wallace, but they've both been there through really difficult times for this football club, both Davis and Wallace. McCann was living the high lives, if you like, in terms of where we were at the time, and he again, I'd taken absolutely nothing away from him, but the Lee Wallace is one of those ones that I think slips under the radar of just what he kind of sacrificed himself for us, for Rangers to continue to play for us. So for me, between Lee Wallace and Davis, I think either of them would be absolutely fine. I mean, if you can have Steve Davis marshalling our training and coaching our 6 or 8s even, when Davis was in his pomp and he played a wee bit further forward, then I don't think that's a too bad coach to have. And Lee Wallace, don't know, stick your boots on, mate, because we'll probably need you at left back at some point once Magoma gets injured. There's the negativity creeping back in there. But yeah, either the two of them I think would be quite interesting. But it'll be interesting to see who he decides to go with when that announcement is made. We'll move on, mate, to the Old Firm preview. Not too much more to get into apart from that. Obviously, these words are going to come out my mouth and I almost can't believe it. They have an interim manager of Martin O'Neill, and I am not in a time warp. We have not been back 20 years. It is Martin O'Neill that is in the dugout for Sunday for the other side of the city. They are coming off the back of a 4-0 win against Falkirk. Obviously, they've had a bit of a bounce, which was Martin coming in. I'm not being disrespectful to the result, but it's just one of those results where it doesn't really bother me at all. It didn't really have an impact on me. I thought they'll probably win that quite comfortably. It's a game you would expect them to win no matter what state they're in or what state they're playing. So going into this game, obviously us coming off our 2 back-to-back wins in the league, we've got a bit of momentum. They seem to have had a wee bit of a bounce. Going into it, Ali, I think this is genuinely a 50-50 game. I think either team could win this. I really do. I don't think you could be shocked at either team winning it. I'll be very disappointed if one team wins, and I will be extremely happy if the other team wins. I'll let you figure out what one that is for yourselves. But that's going into this, mate. It's the old cliches, mate. There is no such thing as form because neither of us have really got any. We've both having pretty poor seasons. It's 50-50 as you want it to be.
Yeah, it's a toss of a coin, can't it? I honestly don't know. The bookies have got Celtic favourites going into this.
Of course.
Decent favourites as well. We're actually good odds for Sunday. I think we're nearly 3-1 in some bookies for Rangers to win, which is good odds for that.
I'm not a lunatic.
Yeah.
I don't bet on Old Firm games.
No.
Are you a lunatic?
No. Christ, I'm a lunatic, but no, I wouldn't do that. But obviously Brendan Rodgers is left Celtic. Obviously Dermot Desmond fired in that big statement about Rodgers, which was wild. They brought Martin O'Neill out of the freezer from 2005, whatever the last time he was at Parkhead. We should probably bring back Big McLeish as well and put him in the sideline.
Out the freezer, brilliant, mate. Out the freezer, what a shame that is.
But they've brought him back, and they've brought Sean Maloney in. Sean Maloney's been a manager, obviously, at Wigan and Hibs. They brought that. Who's the coach they brought in that folk are laughing about because he changes his accent all the time?
The half German, half Chuter.
Yeah, so he's in there as well. And I can understand why they've done that. They've done it similar to when we brought probably Barry Ferguson a lot in to try and get a reaction from their team. And they got a reaction during the week. Obviously, they were playing Falkirk. I did speak to a couple of guys at my work that are season tickets at Parkhead, and they did say that Celtic played a lot better. They did say that Celtic had been rotten this season like we have, but they did say they played a lot better on Wednesday night. They moved the ball a lot quicker. He brought that Trusty in at centre half, and I think he brought Ralston in at right back instead of playing the young boys that Brendan Rodgers played against Hearts. So they won 4-0. They'll have confidence. I think that Kenny that plays up front for them get 2 goals as well. So they'll be going into it feeling confident as well. As I said to them, it's Falkirk they're playing. I would expect Celtic, even if they're under Brendan Rodgers, to be beating Falkirk 3-4-0 at Parkhead. So it's a difficult one to call. So they're coming in after a 4-0 result. They'll be confident. Obviously, they've got a few injuries, Celtic. We're coming in off of 2 back-to-back wins, which we couldn't do all season. So it's set up nicely in terms of going to Hampden between the two teams. Interesting how we're going to set up in terms of us.
Yeah, we'll come on to that, mate.
And I think we'll know how Celtic will set up as well. But I mean, how many times have we been to Hampden recently, Carney? And it's been a bloody hard luck story for us against Celtic. And we've been done quite a few times by VAR decisions. I know some.
Sorry, Celtic have picked the refs for it, mate. We're fine.
Well, I was going to say they've got what's his chops running the line. That was
O'Connor.
Frank O'Connor. So it'll be interesting to see him running the line against
shambles.
us. But
really is.
I know. I don't know why he's.
We're being punked by them. We really are. This was the guy. In case anybody doesn't know, this was the guy that was. Oh, it's more out than in. For the penalty shout. Yeah. I did.
Yeah. So, but to be fair, whoever they picked as the officials, they'd have a mum and moan. We'd have a mum and moan because whoever it is, they're all bloody awful anyway. But yeah, we've been unlucky against Celtic at Hampden, and I think even some Celtic fans that are all right out there can turn around and say they've had a bit of the run of the green in terms of the old firms at Hampden. They have. There's been a lot of decisions go against us at Hampden, against Celtic in recent years. I think the last time we beat Celtic at Hampden, Carney, was the 2-1 extra time after we played Braga. I think that was the last time we beat Celtic at Hampden.
You, me, and my dad, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that was the last time we beat Celtic, which is going back a good, I don't know, is that 3-4 years? So it's a long time since we beat Celtic at Hampden. As I always say to you, Carney, the laws of averages that I go on by, we're due something at Hampden, but we need to go out with the right attitude. The attitude they did against Hibs. And if they go out with the right attitude, Rangers, they've got a chance. But as you say, and I agree with you, it really is a toss of the coin. I wouldn't be shocked if Celtic won, and I wouldn't be shocked if we won. The teams are that close in terms of how poor the two teams are. The first Old Firm at Ibrox, Carney, was one of the worst Old Firms I've seen in a long time. The quality was extremely poor. So it'll be interesting at Hampden, but I honestly couldn't call it. I really couldn't call it.
No, it's at the same time, would we always get excited about Old Firms, mate? You always start to look forward to it. You and I will be the same tomorrow night, mate, pacing the house, not wanting to do anything, not being able to concentrate or enjoy anything. And this is, I say, one of the first times I remember going in where I genuinely feel like that anybody could win this. There's been too many times we've been into an Old Firm thinking in the back of your mind, we're probably not going to hold up here, we're probably not going to do well here, we're not going to pull out a result. Just because of the way the team's been the past few years. But this one, I generally think it could go either way. And if Danny Rule manages to pull us through it, I mean, it's just ginormous for our season. It really is. It could be a right turning point for our form, for the players' form. I don't think the players have got any excuse in terms of been feeling sorry for themselves or any sort of kind of any kind of carryover of anything that kind of negatively done. Hence why I think when we spoke about the start of the pod, winning that game the way we did against Hibs should do wonders for them. It really should, because they can dig out results, they can dig in, they can stay compact, they can defend when they need to, and we can keep a clean sheet. I mean, just the basic thing of keeping a basic thing, but just the thing of keeping a clean sheet should do wonders for them. It really should. But as I say, going into it, it's a really tough one to call. Generally, a really, really tough one to call. It could literally go, and I've just seen Adam just say that there, that it could go the distance.
God, could he go with that?
Yeah,
no, that's the last thing.
I know, I'm terrible at it. I really am terrible at it. I'll not enjoy the game. I never do until the final whistle, and the final whistle hopefully it's a result for us. That would be great. I seen somebody saying if Danilo scores the winner, his dad will do a lap around Hampden. If Danilo scores the winner, I think Ali will get a tattoo of Danilo on his back. And Ali doesn't have tattoos, Neil da, but we're slowly being turned around here. Before we come to teams, mate, before we come to our selections, what we think it might be. On Wednesday, you messaged me after the and I don't mind saying this because obviously we got the result, and I'm not flinging you under a bus here at all, mate. But you said when you seen the team line up, it looks slightly conservative, and you're probably right in that. The fact that we had 3 out-and-out centre halves on the field, and the way that he chose to line up on Wednesday against Hibs, you said it was slightly conservative. Going into the game on Sunday, do you expect him to be conservative, or do you expect him to be attacking? Do you expect him to absolutely go for it? In my opinion, mate, I think he has to pick the players with the most legs in them, and players that are obviously in form. I don't mean guys that haven't played in all season, but guys that are in the peak, not in the sports science red zone as they talk. And I think a few of the subs that were made on Wednesday night might have been an eye towards on Sunday. But for me, mate, you go there, I don't say you go out attack, but you go there with a team that can attack and can take it to them when the chance comes. What do you think, conservative or attacking on Sunday?
I really don't know what he's going to do. And I know he says he takes each game and he judges each opponent in terms of how he's going to line up. So I honestly don't know how he's going to line up. He's had joy with this 3 at the back, Carney, that goes into a 5, if you want to say. He's had joy in terms of we've been more rigid at the back. So, but at the same time, we're playing Celtic, who are going to come and have a go at us. That's how they play Celtic. They'll play a 4-3-3 Celtic. They'll have the 2 wingers. I don't know if Maeda will be back, etc. But they've got pace, so they'll try and have a go at us, Celtic. Personally, I would fight fire with fire and have a go with them. I mean, I would love to see us play a Gassam on the left and an Ant-Man on the right and a Danilo through the middle. Folk will be shocked to hear that.
For each at half time.
yeah. But I've got a sneaking suspicion I don't think he will. I think he'll play a similar-ish team to Hibs and potentially change at the second half, depending how the game's going. That's what I think he'll do. Because, as I say, he's had joy with this formation at the moment. But it's a difficult one because, as I say, I expect Celtic to open up and have a go at us. They've come off a 4-0 win, Celtic. I think they'll want to try and have a go at us and see what we're like. So it'll be interesting. Like, it's just hard to judge what he's going to do. I think Hibs and I think David Gray were quite shocked the way that team lineup was against Hibs on Wednesday night, and you could see when Hibs come out, they didn't quite know what to do with Rangers until he made a change, David Gray, in terms of bringing the boy off that was in the booking. So, yeah, I'll be really interested to see what he does, Carrie. But there's a few players that have probably, I know we talked about Barron, but there's a few players I think that have earned the right to play against Celtic on Sunday that should be in that team. So I personally think he'll keep roughly the same formation and shape as what he did against Hibs and change it in the second half if it's not going our way.
I think that's one thing you can be sure of, though, is that Danny Rule clearly will change things when he has to, when he feels like it's necessary within a game, which is crucial. Obviously, going into such a crucial Old Firm tie, it's crucial for him to be aware of what's happening and make the changes when required. It is a difficult team to try and predict, mate. It really is. It's a tough one. I think if we just need to do the basics, though, and I know that I say that kind of as a throwaway comment, But how many times have we seen Rangers get into an Old Firm game and not do the basics? Just do the basics. Yeah. Win your battle. Literally win your battle with your man. Try not make any stupid mistakes. Take your chances when they come. I think there's a chance it could be pretty end to end. There's also a chance it could be an absolute snowfest. There is a chance that it's not going to be filled with great quality, but maybe both teams are a little bit tentative about fully attacking and committing to leaving themselves exposed at the back. I think even though Celtic won during the week, they still they were coming off a pretty poor defeat to Dundee. So you just don't know. You literally just don't know. This game could literally go any way at all. One thing I know for sure is when I'm walking into Hampden, I'm not going to be feeling good about it because I never do. I'm like, you've got to go in, you go into your seat and you look over, you see them, you're like, here we go. So. Yeah, but I hope once for this time we're the ones that are we're walking away with our heads held high. But to try and predict what's going to happen, it's a tough one. I think Rangers genuinely, and I'm not just saying it because I'm a Rangers fan and I'm on a Rangers podcast, but I think we've got every chance. I really do. If we get it right, if Danny Rule gets it right, if these players show up, apply themselves properly, do the basics like I just said, then we've got every chance. We really do have every chance. They've not been great. We've not been great. It could be two bad things don't make a right, but it could also lead to a spectacle, and let's hope it's a spectacle for us in terms of a win. But I just think the basics, generally the basics. We'll go into the team, Ali. We'll dissect it a little bit instead of just firing out our teams in terms of just giving teams and then a score prediction. So with the back, I think the back four will remain the same, and by that I include Butland, obviously. So I think it will be Beatland, Giga, Suter and Cornelius. Cornelius took a knock to the eye, but I think he's going to be all right. I think he could come out in a bit of a black eye. I seen the pictures after the game and it was a bit of a black eye, but I think he should be okay for Sunday. Would you agree? Was that the same back four you would play?
I think he might. I mean, Butland's obviously a shoe-in, but I think he might do a three of Cornelius, Suter and Tavernier. I think he might do a three of that. And Giga, and
you'll please loads of people. You're going to please.
I know. I'm waiting for the comments. Yeah. I'm waiting for them. Yeah. It's Tav's birthday today, everyone. So keep it clean. It's 34 today, Tav. No, I know I'll annoy some folk up in the comments. I'm not saying that's what I would do. Personally, if it, as I says, I would fight fire with fire and I would go with a kind of 4-3-3 against them. But as I say, I think he'll go with this kind of three at the back or a five, if you want to say. So I think Tav will play. And a lot of folk won't like that because Tav near enough gave that penalty away against Hibs when he slipped. But I can see him going with Cornelius and Suter are a shoe-in, and I could see him playing Tav on the right-hand side instead of Giga. Giga, as I say, I thought it was the best game I've seen him against Hibs. I thought he was really, really good, Giga.
Really, it was a shaky little start from him, but he didn't half grow into the game. He really did.
He did. He made one really good last ditch challenge against Hibs in the first half, but he was very good. But I've just got a feeling that'll be his three at the back.
I disagree, obviously, because I think it will be Giga, Suter and Cornelius, but I think Tavernier will play, but I think he'll play as the wing back on the right. I don't think he'll play so. Max. I don't think he'll play Max Aarons. Would you play Aarons in the wing back at the right? The reason I would play Tavernier, mate, and again people will be like firing things at me. He's got a goal in him. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've not seen anything from Aarons, but on occasions like this, and the occasions where we need Tav or we need a goal, that Tav has done it so many times where he's kind of pulled one out the bag. And I think when you've seen already, I think it was against United. I can't remember. That definitely was Wednesday night. So the game before, when Tav was more coming inside and as well to support the midfield, which we've seen again loads of times. James Tavernier doing. So I would be Tavernier on the right wing back.
Yeah, I get that, but I think he's going to go with Migova on the left as your left wing back.
Definitely, yeah.
And I know Gisama's not been great, and I prefer him on the left, but I think he'll play him on the right, Gassama, because he'll give us a kind of out ball and a guy we can get the ball to and hopefully get down that line, because he'll be up against Tierney there as well. Hopefully have a go at him. Tav, I don't think Tav can go up and down what he used to. That's why I would play him as a back three at the right hand side. That's where I would play him, and I would play Gassama on the right. That's when I say I would. I think that's what Danny Rule will do.
Yeah, I get that, mate. Yeah, controversially, I wouldn't start Gassama. I wouldn't, because I don't think he's got an effect on the right hand side. I really don't.
No, he's been poor on the right hand side. I agree. Yeah. I don't like him there.
I don't think he's been great unless we go for an all-out 3-4-3. If that's what we're going to do, like an all-out 2 wingers and a striker,
that's what I would like. Personally,
yeah, that's what I would like. I would play Gassama on the left, but I wouldn't play him on the right. I'd play Tavernier. I think it will be half conservative, half attacking, if that makes sense.
A lot of folk are saying Ant-Man in the comments, but we've not really seen Ant-Man the last couple of games. I know he was ill, but
yeah, we haven't really seen him. So I don't know if he would get thrown into this game straight off the bat from that. But yeah, so my back, if you include the wing backs, would be Tavernier on the right and Magoma on the left with the 3 centre halves, Giga, Suter and Cornelius. Midfield 2, I think it picks itself, mate. Raskin and Diomande, because Barron's suspended. If Barron was not suspended, 100% I would play him over Diomande.
Yeah, and I know Diamande's not your favourite player, but he does turn up against Celtic. Diamande,
he was all right at Ibrox. He was okay at Ibrox last week.
Yeah, he does usually play decent against Celtic. Diamande, he's a bit gun-ho at times in terms of
challenges. Quickly, I'm going to address this quickly. Buffalo Albert says he's also got a mistake in him. I wouldn't start. I'm talking about Tav. He does have a mistake in him, but he would have Giga behind him. He wouldn't be the last line of defence, if that makes sense. So I think
Giga's got a mistake in him as well.
I know. They all do, mate. They all
do. So Suter as well. If we could go through them all, for God's sake. But no, the two, Raskin for me, Carney, he's got to step up. Big style in this game. I think he's been poor. For the one guy that we really wanted back in terms of when he goes away and plays for Belgium, he's the kind of star man out there and comes back for us and it looks as if he, not that he can't be arsed, but I don't think he's given his all. I thought he grew into the game at times against Hibs the second half, but he's got to dictate that midfield on Sunday, especially when he's up against, I'd assume they'll have Callum McGregor, Engels, and probably Hatate in the middle of the park. So
yeah.
He's really got to step up. I would have loved Conor Barn to have given the chance because I thought he deserved it. It's just a pity. I never knew he was suspended for it. So he's not going to be there. So Raskin will be there. And I think Diamande's the only real player because you look at other players you could pick. Rothwell, I just think this game would pass him by. It is too quick for him, so I wouldn't be playing Rothwell. Maybe he's a guy, Rothwell, you could bring on 20 minutes to go potentially. I think he's better bringing on in games like that because I think every time I've seen Rothwell come off the bench, we say 20 minutes to go, I think he's looked decent and he's kind of carries up the park. So he could be useful then. Lyle Cameron, we've not really seen Lyle Cameron. He wasn't on the bench either against Hibs too. So, yeah, I think those two pick themselves. And they've been there and done it before, the two of them, Raskin and Diamande against Celtic. And we've done well against Celtic in recent games in the league. So, yeah, I agree. I think it'll be those two.
Yeah, I think it will be the two. I can't see Rothwell coming brought in for this. I don't see that at all. So that would be the midfield too. This is where it gets a wee bit interesting, mate. So are you going for, would you think he's going to do 2 up top? Do you think he's going to do a 10 and a 2? Do you think he's going to do 2 10s and a 1? Or is he going to go, I'd love him to go 4-3-3 properly, like 2 wingers and just go for it, like generally just go for it. And I would play Gassama on the left of that. Say he was to go 4-3-3, who would you play on your right? Would you play Mikey Moore or would you play Ant-Man?
No, Mikey Moore, and I think we've seen it in the last couple of games, is better, kind of floating, a kind of free roll, a kind of 10. He kind of plays along that line. I prefer him. I think he's wasting the right side, Mikey Moore. I don't think he's really got the pace to go by guys as well. So, no, I think Mikey Moore's been good the last couple of games. he's got a shout, Mikey Moore, to play on Sunday, potentially. I know probably come on to that position. But no, if it was me doing the 4-3-3, my three would be Gassama on the left. I'd bring Ant-Man in on the right. It's a big pitch at Hampden as well, remember. I think they would get joy. And as I say, I think folk will have a wee laugh at me, but he deserves to play. Danilo would go through the middle for me. That would be my front three if it was me picking it for the front three.
Yeah, I think no matter what he plays, I think Danilo will start. I think he's a shoe on to start. The only thing with playing an out-and-out 4-3-3 does give McGregor a bit too much space in the middle of the park for me. I think Diomande it would need to be Diomande because Raskin would get booked quite easily, I think. But in fact, Diomande's a guaranteed booking as well. But somebody's going to need to stick close to McGregor because when he dictates the game, we tend to suffer. So he has to be stopped, which makes me think that we'll go for more 2-10s. And I think one of them 10s will be Mikey Moore and the other 10 will probably be Asgard. And I think he'll stick Asgard on McGregor and tell him to follow him about. And then Danilo will play up front. So if he wasn't, is that the two that you would pick as the 10s, if you like? Would it be Mikey Moore and Asgard?
See, I think he might play two strikers.
You think so? He's still going to play Shamiti, is he?
No, I think.
Do you play Majorski? Oh, it's a tough call to make that.
Yeah, well, it would. I mean, we've said Rask and Diamande. Mikey Moore kind of deserves to play. I think he's been good, Mikey Moore. I think he links up well with Magoma on the left as well. I know they've played together at England under 21s, whatever it is, but they link up well. But I think Asgard plays. This is Asgard's time to shine for me. Big pitch. Yeah. He's got something about him, Asgard. So I think he'll play him. And the two, we've said Danilo will start. Danilo will start, which is mental. We've said Danilo starting over the rest of them, but he deserves to start Danilo. So it'll be Danilo and Chamiti's not done enough for me. He really hasn't. I'd play Miovski. And again, folk can come back and say, well, Miovski's not done very much, which is true. I don't think he has, but Miovski, I've seen Miovski against Celtic at Hampden before. He's ruffled them up a wee bit up there. Obviously, they don't have Carter Vickers up there anymore. They'll have Trusty and Scales as the centre half. I think Miovski could ruffle him up a wee bit, and Danilo could be a good foil. So I think it'll be Miovski and Danilo.
Fair enough. Derek, not one of us has said that we would play 4-3-3, mate. I would get your ears cleaned. So no, I get. For me, Shamiti is just not done enough. Generally, just has not done nearly enough to merit a start in this. And you have to play the guy that's scoring goals, mate. And right now, it's Danilo, 2 shots, 2 goals, mate. And both goals have been really good, proper striker finishes. So I think he deserves his start. Mikey Moore, again, probably deserves his start as well. I think he's looked like a different player. He really has looked like a different player. So, look, either way, Ali, we've just spent 10 minutes discussing the teams kind of from back to front, and that will be nowhere near the lineup. We'll probably be miles wrong by the time it comes out on Sunday, early afternoon. That'll do us pretty much, mate. Let's do it. What is your score prediction for Sunday?
Oh God. What is it? I think both teams will score. As compact as we are, they usually score Celtic, so I think they'll score. But I think we'll score. I hope it's done within 90 minutes, Carney. As I say, I couldn't cope going 120 minutes and then penalties. I was struggling against Hibs during the week to cope with that, but at Hampden, no, after last time, I wouldn't want to go with penalties again. I just couldn't take it again. I know Jack Bolton's saved 6 out of the last 7 penalties he's stepped up against, which is a phenomenal record. It
really is.
I'm going to go 2-1 Rangers. But I think Celtic will take the lead and we'll come back and win it 2-1. And I think the equaliser for us will be Danilo.
Yeah, my stomach turned when you said that. I was like, oh, God. What do you think when you're thinking about it? I'm going bold, mate. I'm going very bold. I think Rangers will win it within 90 minutes. And I think Rangers will win 3-1.
Can we win 3-1?
I think we will.
I'll be on the tables and that Church in the Hill for 1-3-1.
I think it'll be one each at half time, and I think we'll be better in the second half, and I think we'll win. Well, I think we'll win 3-1.
Shermitty score.
No, no, not Shermitty. No, I'll go. Who do I go with? Asgard's time to shine. I'll go for him to score, and I'll go for Danilo to score the third to secure us a place in the final. Oh, mate. There's just a wash of it just fell right over the top of me where I was like, but yeah, as Ali Quinn says perfectly, just win, please.
Exactly, just win. Don't care how to do it.
That would be magic. That will do us for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening to us this evening. We will be back with a reaction after the game, win or lose. Don't you worry about that. We will bring you a reaction, and I hope you see very, very smiling faces on Sunday late afternoon when we do our reaction pod. Ali, for tonight, mate, thank you for battling through the man flu, mate. Solid 50-odd minutes from you there away. Get yourself an early bath, mate.
Yep, early to bed tonight. In fact, I need to take the dog out for a push first, but early to bed tonight. I'm working tomorrow. Obviously, I don't work weekends, but I am working tomorrow, which I'm actually quite happy about because that'll keep my mind off the game in terms of doing something. So I'm working tomorrow. And I'll be ready for Sunday, regardless how unwell I feel. I will be there on Sunday, don't you worry. As I say, these players they've been a major letdown this season, not helped by the coach in terms of Russell Martin, but they've got a big chance to make it up to us on Sunday. And Danny Reuell's got a chance to really cement himself with the Rangers support. And I think the Rangers support are getting behind Danny Reuell. You can see it, singing his name, etc. They're kind of buying into Danny Reuell. But if he can get a win on Sunday, along with these group of players, it could be a huge springboard for us, Carney. It really could this season. Because you look at the other semi-final, St Mirren Motherwell, I think it is. So whoever wins on Sunday has got a huge chance of winning that cup before Christmas time. And we can use it, as I say, as a springboard into the league in terms of let's see what we can do in the league in terms of one game at a time. Can we eat into Hearts' points difference? Because Hearts have dropped already. I expect them to drop again. And obviously we're only 5 behind Celtic. So that's not a dead duck yet. But they just need to do all in the park Sunday, Karen. Just back to basics as they've been doing. And I trust Danny Reuell to get something out of this Rangers team on Sunday. As you say, Karen, it's one of the first times going to Hampden. I've not dreaded it. I wouldn't say I'm going fully confident on Sunday because I never am. But we've got a right good chance on Sunday. We really do. And if they go with the right application, desire, attitude, we've got a right good chance of making our way to the final of the League Cup. So, as always, it is over to you, Rangers.
Absolutely, mate. I couldn't agree more. Just the players after the last two games that we've seen and after the hard-fought win that we've seen on Wednesday night, don't let it be for nothing. Go there and show that you can compete with them. Go there and show that things are different now. Go there and show that you actually want to play for this football club, that you have desire to win things for this football club. If you do that, you've got every chance and you'll have the full backing of the Rangers support if you apply yourself properly. It is a game that is 50-50 and it's a game that can go either way. But all we ever ask is go out there and give everything. Give absolutely everything that you can. Win your battles. Try not to make silly mistakes. Take your chances when they come, and you just never know. You could be in a very happy place by the time full time comes at Hampden on Sunday, watching the Rangers end bounce up and down as we celebrate hopefully a win and a path to the final. So yes, I don't want to repeat what Ali just says, so I'll say we are the people. Come on, Rangers, let's go and do it. Thank you for tuning in. We'll speak to you on Sunday after the game. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Good night, everyone.